Good morning. Good morning. It's 3:03 a.m. and I am on my way to the gym right now. I woke up this morning and I was listening. I'm pretty eclectic when it comes to uh, what I consume in the morning. And this morning was no different. I woke up and there was a song called Waymaker, Miracle Worker, Promise Keeper, Light in the Darkness. That is what you are. And it's basically just talking about God. And anytime I have a song on my heart when I wake up, it's a sign. It's not a sign that I'm perfect, trust me. I'm far from perfect. But it is a sign that we're in close proximity to one another. So I get up and I start listening to Billy Graham. And the thing I didn't know about Billy Graham is that Billy Graham was good friends with not just Martin Luther King Jr., but Billy Graham was also good friends with Martin Luther King Jr.'s father. And very close and tied into like Mother Teresa and some of these other individuals, very high spiritual individuals. And he made a comment. He said, you know, people who proclaim to be atheists. He says, you know, people who proclaim to be atheists. He says, but he says, you've never met an atheist who's ever endured anything that was a challenge. Now, I don't know if I know any atheists or not. Maybe some people who are undecided. But when they say, you've never met an atheist that has never endured anything, but let the moment that they get told the results that they have stage 4 cancer, and the first words that would come out their mouth is, my God. You think you're an atheist until something comes up where this innate feeling overrides you to call out to something that you swore you didn't believe in. And when I started my journey, like I knew God a long time ago. I knew God. I remember the first time God was ever really talked or you know, really kind of laid on me in a way that made sense. And I had to have been about 13 and I was sitting inside of a juvenile detention center. A lot like the one that I go back to every Friday and talk to the inmates, the inmates that live there. And I remember the pastor that came and was talking to us, and I remember what he said. But I remember the journey, and I remember my journey as of more recent, like what I've been doing to have a better life. And I remember it started with signing up for a real estate course. The course was expensive. It's like $1,000 a month. I stayed in it for a couple of years. And, you know, they gave you a coach and all this other really cool stuff. So, and then I started listening to Napoleon Hill, and I started listening to the guy who did The Strangest Secret. I can't think of his name right now, but the reason I started listening to him, Earl Nightingale, was because my coach was mentored by Earl Nightingale. So he would always quote that and I would listen to these people. And I would listen to Les Brown, and I would listen to Eckhart Tolle. You know, when you start talking about people like this, you know how far it is. The Four Agreements. I'm trying to think of the names of these authors. But when I started listening to them, I was intending to build my life. I said I needed something else. I said that I needed a change, and I knew there was something more than what I had been taught or what I was raised to believe. But when everything came full circle to right now, where we're at today, Don Miguel Ruiz was who wrote the Four Agreements. When I come full circle to today, it's very clear that God was the author and the inspiration behind even these people. Tony Robbins. Right? Who was his mentor? All these guys, they never could reach their fullest potential until they started giving credit to God. None of them. I say all this to say, when I woke up this morning, I had that song on me. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. That is who you are. And then I started playing Billy Graham that was recorded back in 1960. And the slow backdrop of it, you can hear the beat of that song. Yesterday, I was, day for yesterday. I was in the house, me and Malachi were getting ready to work, and I bought this new camera setup. Strangest thing. And I remember saying to myself, I wish I could, I wanted to stream something live. I said, I wish I could stream something live on this in this kind of way. You know, just kind of in passing. I'm always thinking about what's something that I could do to make my business better. And I was like, okay, cool. That sounds like a good idea. Hopefully they do something like that, because they would be a real benefit to my business. Not a big deal. 10 minutes later, I go into my office. I have an office in my house. I go into my office. Malachi's there working on a project. And I turn my computer on and I turn the camera on because I'm getting ready to do a video. And the camera comes on. It says, we can't go further until you do the update. We need you to update the camera. We've done some new software, whatever the case. We just need you to update it, and then we'll let you go through. So I try a couple times to update it. You know, it's not working. I restart everything. Do that a couple times. Finally, restarts, kicks in. It's updating. I'll kind of cut to the chase. The thing that I had envisioned that I needed the camera to do 10 minutes earlier, 15 minutes earlier at this point, 20 minutes earlier at this point, because I had to start the computer and everything over a couple times. The same software update that I wanted to see happen, they did it. They did it. Same thing I envisioned, not even 15, 20 minutes earlier. I go to turn everything on, update it, and they had updated the software to stream images on my live feed the way that I wanted to. Yesterday, I was with my wife. I forgot, we went to go look at some real estate. And I said, could you stop here? I need to go grab something. Stopped. And as we're coming out, there was a Discount Tire right there. And in my mind, I said, I need to go just midday. Nobody's there. Makes sense. I always get my tires checked. Said, I need you to go. In my mind, I'm thinking, I'm going to tell her if she can go and get the tires checked. But I ignore the thought. Something told me, go get the tires checked. I ignore the thought. And I said, I'll do it later. Right? And I'm pretty obedient. When things speak to me, I do them. So we didn't go in there, and we pulled out to the street. I would say within about a minute, 30 seconds, my low light tire indicator came on. Say, hey, you have a low tire. I'm thinking, no. I didn't want to pull in the Discount Tire because I thought something was wrong with it. I just wanted to pull in there because there was nobody there. It's always good to get your tires checked. They do it for free. You sit in your car, they check your tires, then you pull out. Well, I didn't do it. And I left. And within 30 seconds, my indicator light clicked on. I told her, I said, hey, I was just thinking I should have told you to go in there. I said, well, do you want me to go back? I said, yeah, go ahead and go back. Go back, go to the line where you can get your tire checked. And guys check him, comes back around. He says, hey, you got a big old screw in your back tire. I'm thinking, screw? Where I get a screw from? No worries. Say, hey, but we can we check it out, and we do we do free tire repair and all that. You might have to just wait a little bit, but we'll take care of it. It's gonna be a real rough life. I'll just tell you this. It's gonna be a real rough life if you fail to recognize that the author and the creator of this planet is God, who ultimately lies at the helm of what's going on. It's going to be a rough life if you fail to acknowledge that fact. Too many things have happened in my life for me to act like it's not possible. And I've listened to too many books, read too many books, studied too many people. Jim Rohn, even towards the end of his life, if you notice some of his earlier talks, he didn't acknowledge God. But even Jim knew he couldn't get all the way there up here like he wanted to, because it's powerful up here. But he knew he couldn't get all the way where he wanted to without acknowledging God. Tony Robbins, the person he mentored, if you listen to some of his earlier teachings, and he gave a lot of credit to God, called it the universe. He's since done changed that. Because for as strong as he was mentally, he couldn't get his mind any further without giving credit to the Creator. I'm going to venture to say that you will have limits on yourself as long as you fail to give credit to God. I don't make the rules. I'm standing in the kitchen and my daughter, this early this morning, it's only 3:19 right now. I just pulled into the gym. I just got my parking pass. And as my daughter, for some reason, strolled out the room and we started dancing. I don't know, we're dancing. And I looked at her. And at the same time I looked at her, I heard Billy Graham saying, I was embarrassed. And when he found God, and he, he's self-conscious about it. But there's no other way to get to where you got to go but through God. You can meet all the atheists you want. I truly believe that, yes, I don't think there's an atheist who's actually endured something and still called themselves an atheist if they came out the other end of it. Even Stephen Hawking had to adjust his thinking. Because whether now you give him credit or later on, but no matter what book you study, no matter where you derive your information from, and I've read them all. Just looking to see if there was something different. There wasn't. They may not have said it, but they were all reading out of the same book. And that was the basic instincts before leaving Earth, the Bible. Or basic instructions before leaving Earth, the Bible. There was a lot of characters in the Bible. A lot of times you get the impression, and I think love and being a servant is probably the highest commandments or things that you can do in your walk with God. But be very clear, and I'm not giving anybody an excuse or a reason to act like a fool, but there's a lot of casting characters inside of that book who weren't walking around singing Kumbaya and it was all good. There was like a great deal of individuals who were killing people, murdering people. And they very much had the favor of God. David, murderer, adulterer, King David. So if you think you have to be a certain kind of way, and if you're not that kind of way, then you don't get the glory of God, just understand that God made us all different, all unique, and all special. And not one person in the Bible that God had called on was perfect. Are you Joshua? A warrior? Are you Saul? Paul? You can find who you are inside the Bible. But you're not going to get to where you got to go unless you acknowledge God. I can say that. I can say that so confidently. You won't. It's impossible. You can make it to a certain level, certain limit, but you're not going to make it all the way.